trying. You know I'd be lying, saying you're the one. Ooh.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. First off, before I get started, I'm going to tell you guys my labor and delivery story, right? But before we get started, I want to take time out and let y'all admire my hair. Yes, I am doing natural hair videos, and this is actually wash and go, a day old wash and go. And I posted that video yesterday, and I'm just loving it with the sun out today, and the color is popping. I'm gonna just drop that link so y'all can go watch it, see for yourselves. But anyways, I'm just gonna state some facts about my labor and delivery. The first fact is it was vaginal. I did not have a C-section. Second fact is it was not a natural birth. I did get an epidural. Third fact is my water broke. That's how I went into labor. So I wasn't really active. I'm a soldier, so they made us do like PT every morning, but I found a way out of it because during my pregnancy, I was like lazy. I gained a good 30 to 40 pounds. I was 115 when I got pregnant, and then when I had my baby, I was like 156. So do the math. I'm not about to sit here calculating, but yeah. So one day I felt like droplets. I was at work. I felt droplets or whatever, and I thought I like peed on myself. Well, not peed because it wasn't like a constant flow, but I thought I lost control of my bladder for a minute because, you know, there is a baby sitting on your bladder, and I just thought, I was like, okay, cool, whatever. That's all part of the process. I just got a weak bladder or whatever. And so a couple of days later, the same thing happened, and I feel like I had so much stress going on, and then on top of me and my husband having sex like as much as we did, that put me at 38 weeks because they usually say your first baby comes late or right on time or whatever. But 38 weeks isn't bad, but still, it wasn't his due date. It was 2 weeks before his due date. And so me and my husband got into like a really, really bad argument like the night before I went into labor. Well, the night before my water broke. So fast forward to the argument. The next morning, I was supposed to have been at work at 9, right? And this was like past 9 o'clock. So I was fixing me a bowl of cereal. Yes, I don't mind that. I was fixing me a bowl of cereal past 9 o'clock, and freaking, apparently me and my husband had cooled off or whatever, and we're just having a normal morning. I'm running late as usual. He's running late as usual. And fixing my bowl of cereal. Next thing I know, fluid just starts running down my leg. I didn't feel anything. I didn't hear anything. Like, when your water breaks, it's normal. Some people feel gushes, but mine started out like you turn on the faucet halfway and it comes down. And I had on sweats at the time, so I looked down and I'm just like, what? And I was confused, but then it's like I knew what was going on, but I was still confused. And I was just like, babe, I'm wet. Like, I'm peeing on myself or something. And then we knew what was going on. We were just like, oh, my water broke or whatever. So I called my dad. I was like, Dad, we think my water just broke. And he was like, oh, for real, we're on our way. Just like that, we're on our way. And so later on, I actually talked to my mom, and she was like, yeah, we're not coming till I get off of work. And which, they're 7 hours away. I'm stationed here at Fort Hood, and they're in Arkansas. So like, Mom was like, I can't just take off. She works for this insurance company, and she was just like, I can't just take off like that. I gotta finish on my work day. and then we'll hit the road or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. So me and my husband drive to the hospital. The whole time I'm walking, fluids just coming out. When I'm in his car, fluids just coming out. And by this time, of course I wasn't embarrassed. I'm just excited. I'm like, my water broke. Anybody we passed, like going into the hospital, I'm like, my water broke. My water broke. I was so excited. And my husband was even more excited, but I know he was kind of nervous. But you guys, if your water breaks and you're not having contractions, don't worry, because it's going to be some hours before you have your baby. Like, if you're not having contractions yet, like, I wasn't even having Braxton Hicks. Your baby's going to be hours. So I'm going to say 9:30, I got checked into the hospital. They had all these vitals on me, the baby's heartbeat. They're monitoring that the whole time. Fast forward, I am gonna say this. Not eating my cereal. When my water broke, I could have sat down to eat my cereal, but I'm so excited. Even the baby wasn't coming right then, I was still excited, and I was like, I'm just called my NCO, tell them I'm not coming into work, and I won't see y'all for the next 3 months, because I will be on maternity leave. And so I just didn't finish my cereal. So of course, that was a big regret. We already had the baby's car seat. We already had the baby's bag, everything, ready and prepped, because we knew it was coming. So fast forward, I started having contractions, but I couldn't feel them. Like, I don't know what it's called. I know you have active labor, which is when you're actually pushing, and then you have your labor when you're having contractions, and then you have like your preterm labor or pre-labor. I don't know, it's kind of like Braxton Hicks. You get contractions, but it's not like the full-blown contractions, like 3 minutes. I'm dumb to the knowledge of how far apart your contractions are supposed to be. I never paid attention to that, and it really didn't apply to me because I was in the hospital having them. So I was not dilated at all. The only thing that happened was my sac had ruptured a few days ago, and now, like, I guess since then it started opening more and more until the point my water completely broke. So anyways, I'm gonna say about noon, I'm getting hungry now. Oh my gosh. And then a couple of hours, they're like, oh, you're having contractions. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't feel them. And then here comes that actual labor. I start getting contractions. What happened? I wish I can remember my first contraction, like when it hit me, like what was my reaction. But I do know throughout the whole portion that I was having contractions and I could feel them. I had to stop. Like, I had to get up and pee one time, right? And so I had got up off the bed because the IV was in me. They had to put... No, at this point, the IV wasn't in me. This was a year ago, y'all, so bear with me. But, so when I was getting out the bed to go to the bathroom, I was having a contraction. I was like, and I was just breathing. I was like... You just gotta breathe. And then my husband, he'll be trying to touch me and talk to me. And I'll be like, look, I appreciate all that, but at this point, I am dying. It feels like, I don't even know the feeling, like how to describe it in words. But people say it, and keep in mind, okay, my cycles, before I even got pregnant, my periods lasted 3 days max. I got no contractions, no headaches. When I was younger, I used to get headaches, but no contractions. I mean, no cramps, no headaches. And people are like, oh, they feel like cramps, whatever. And I'm just like, well, I don't get cramps, so I'm new to all of this. So when I finally get it, it does feel like a cramp. Because I used to run track, and I used to get cramps then. like if I eat or drink before a track meet or whatever. So it did feel like a cramp, but it felt like a cramp times 1,000. 1,000. I might be exaggerating a little bit. I don't want to scare y'all. I might be exaggerating a little bit. But no, when you're doing it, honestly, I wouldn't be scared. Look at me. I was traumatized after my first baby. And I was just like, I don't want any more kids, blah, blah, blah. But beforehand, I was like, I want 5 kids. And that's my mindset now. I want 5 kids. Like, it was just, I'm gonna get to all of that later. Everybody's labor and delivery is different. So do not already have this. That's why I hate I'm exaggerating like this or going into depth like this, because I don't want anybody to go into labor with the mindset of, oh, this is gonna be so tragic, this and that. This is gonna be a beautiful experience, but painful at the same time. Childbearing is not meant to be easy. Okay, so where am I? So contractions, I went to the bathroom, got back in bed, and so they give you this, it's an anesthetic, and it's an anesthetic for your contractions, the pain or whatever, and baby, you get an IV in that hand, and baby girl, when I tell you, you are on cloud 9, you are high as hell. I felt sorry for my child, because I'm like, if you high in there, I'm sorry, but mama is going through some things trying to bring you into this world. So, baby, that anesthetic that they put in the IV and they stick in your hand, when I tell you that the IV, I'm not scared of needles in no way, shape, form, and fashion. I'm tatted. I love piercings. So when they said that they have to stick it in my hand, like a vein in my hand or whatever, I was like, okay, cool. But the fluid was uncomfortable because it was cold. And it just bothered me. And I was just like, it's cold. Because I was high on top of that once. And because they had to keep like pumping more in there. And I was like, well, they didn't have to keep pumping more in there. It was flowing from the IV bag. So I was like, it's cold. I don't like it. It's cold. And I'm high as shit. So at this point, like, everything intensifies. As far as like, not pain-wise. Pain-wise, gone. When I had a contraction, it felt like a big old thump. I don't know how to explain. It was like a thump or something. I didn't feel pain. I didn't feel tightness. It was just like a thump. Like I felt it when it came, but it wasn't pain. Okay. I hope you guys following. But so I'm high. So you know, people be tripping when they high. You know, they just be tripping. So I remember when they gave me the anesthetic, my dad called or something, and they were like, she's still having contractions, she good. And I was like, Daddy, my coochie hurt. I just remember saying that, and he was like, okay. He was like, I'm see you when you get there, I'm gonna talk to you later, y'all just keep me updated. Because he had to understand that I'm high. And I promise you, in my head, I'm like, there's nothing wrong with telling my dad my coochie hurts. I mean, and honestly, my coochie wasn't hurting. Like, I don't know, because the anesthetic, I didn't feel nothing. I was just so freaking high. I was feeling so good. So when I tell y'all, after that whole thing, finally getting my anesthetic or whatever, I was knocked out. I was knocked out for a good 3-4 hours. When I woke up, they were like, oh, are you getting an epidural? And I was like, yeah. Because the anesthetic only lasts for like 3 hours, I believe. So when it was wearing off, they were like, okay, it's going to be wearing off any minute. You know, wake up. We need to, you have to use the bathroom or anything. We're going to put and I felt it when it was wearing off, because I remember when they were doing my epidural, they had to put it in your back. It's this long needle, and well, then I don't think the needle is long, but the part that goes into your back is pretty long. So anyways, when they got ready to put the epidural in my back, they was like, you gotta be really still. So I remember this part because I remember me being able to start to feel the contractions again, because I know when they were like put it in me, I was like, whoa, hold on, because I had this fear in my head that I was gonna get what's it called, paralyzed, because if they do it wrong, you can get paralyzed, and that's like rare cases. Just like, I'm not gonna say anything else because I don't want to put that in y'all head. But anyway, so I didn't want to get paralyzed, and I was just like, hold on, I feel another contraction, hold on. So I was just like bent over, I was like, It passed, they put the epidural in, and I did not feel it. Honestly, I think it was my adrenaline, like scared of the next contraction. And baby, when you feel that first contraction, you think about going to natural. Power to those women that have actually done it natural, or if you plan on doing it natural. I'm not saying that you're going to change your mind when you feel that first contraction, but you will be contemplating it. You will be like, I don't think it's going to be that bad if I just get an epidural. I mean, like, it ain't going to hurt the baby or nothing. Y'all going to be contemplating it, because when you get ready to get the epidural, and people that scared of needles, baby, the pain that you will feel getting contractions, you will not care about that needle. You will not care. Baby, you will not care about that needle. Contractions is the worst part of giving birth. Everything else is like, whatever. You're gonna live. You're gonna live. Contractions is nothing but a strong ass crap. Honestly, it's your, I'm not gonna get all scientific on what a contraction really is, but I'm telling you what it feels like. It just feels like a strong ass cramp. Imagine getting a Charlie horse in your fucking stomach. That's what it feels like. Getting a Charlie horse in your stomach. That's what a contraction feels like. So anyways, after the epidural, I don't even remember what time frame the epidural was, because I had been asleep, all this other stuff. I'm high. About time I get the epidural, let me tell you what it feels like. It didn't feel like nothing. It was probably like a poke when you feel it going in. After giving birth, like a couple months later, like I had a bump on my back, like in the same spot they put it. I got a tattoo in the same spot that they put the epidural to, but it had a bump and it was just itching. Like no other problems other than it felt like I had a mosquito bite or whatever. Anyways, let me stay on track. So the epidural, like, you literally don't feel anything. The contractions feel like a thump, and I'm just gonna fast forward because nothing really happened after my epidural. I'm gonna just fast forward to my active labor. 10 o'clock, 10:30, they were like, oh, it's time to start pushing. I think it was like 10 o'clock. I got there like 9:30, checked in, 10:20. I can start going ahead and pushing. So I was good up until then. But when they said I can start pushing, and the reason why it took that long for me to start pushing is because I was not yet dilated. So my baby was not ready to come out yet. But anyways, before I started pushing, they were just like, let's do one quick x-ray, or not x-ray, ultrasound, and see like if the baby is positioned correctly. We don't see the umbilical cord and wrapped around anything or whatever to prevent circulation. So they were like, okay, you're good to go. And when they said that, my heart just started pounding in my chest. And I'm just like, okay, I got this. My younger cousin was in it. We're the same age, but he's younger than me. He was in the room. His mom, my older cousin, and then my husband was in the room. Then the OB people and the midwife, doctor, whatever, they were in the room. So I'm going to tell you guys two parts of this in one. I'm going to tell you guys while I'm pushing, and I'm going to tell y'all the treatment I got while I was fucking pushing. So my son was born Fort Hood, Carl R. Darnell Medical Center. And I tell you guys, I hate them for this. I'm not going to mention any of the doctor's name or nothing. And no, I did not report this to the hospital. But a year later, I wonder if I can still do that. But when I'm pushing, they tell you to lift your legs, open them. And my cousin was holding this foot back and my husband was holding the other foot back. And I would show you guys, but I'm not in a good spot to show you. But anyways, so I'm pushing, and I'm doing a horrible job. Those people who have trouble holding their breath for a while, Lord. Because I was just like, I was like holding my breath. I don't know, because I'm doped up. I don't feel anything. I'm just like, and it was nothing to do with pushing my baby out. You're supposed to push with your abdomen like this. This is what your pushing should be like, not up here. It's supposed to be like down here. You're supposed to be holding and pushing out or whatever, and pushing like you're having a bowel movement. Not really, but kind of. You're tightening your abdomen and you're pushing. So anyways, they tell you to push when you're having a correct contraction. So while you're pushing, you're getting this big ass cramp and you're supposed to or whatever. So when I tell you, I was so dramatic. I was like, I was all over the place. I was digging my fingernails in my husband's arm. He had scratches. I was cussing everybody out and whatnot. But I didn't feel no pain. So the doctor, well, not the doctor, one of the nurses got frustrated and was like, you know, when you're ready to start pushing correctly, then call me back in here. So she literally walked out and let us just, like, by now my son is in my birth canal, so he doesn't need to just sit there. He needs to hurry up and come out. Like, this is my first time having a baby. I'm doped up. I'm this, I'm that. Like, come on now, be patient with me. Yes, the freaking nurses did that. And that's why I hate going to anything dealing with soldiers. Like anything, like I got all 4 of my wisdom teeth done at once by soldiers. And freaking my bottom right got, this happened twice. My bottom right got a dry socket. I don't want to do anything at a hospital. I don't want to do anything else at a hospital dealing with soldiers. No more military doctors for me. I'm done with them. So anyway, so she made that little comment, and then a little while after, she came back in, and finally this black beautiful angel came in and saved my life. It was this black nurse, and basically she was like, you gotta do this, come on, let's go, blah blah blah, you got it. So freaking this girl, by this time I'm running up the tape because he's coming down my birth canal. My husband's like, I see his hair, he has your hair, because it was all slick and nice and pretty or whatever. I see his hair, and I kid you not, I was like, if you see his hair, fucking pull him out. If you see his hair, pull him out. Why y'all just stand there and pull him out? And freaking, they was just like, no, you gotta push. So the black, by this time, I'm running. No, I did not want to have the mirror. They asked me before I started pushing, do I want to have the mirror so I can see everything? I was like, no, because I will pass the fuck out. No. So I was running up the, like, you know how you get some good D or whatever, you scared or whatever, and you just running up the side of the bed. I was running up the side of the bed while I was pushing him out. So the black nurse, this sweet, beautiful angel, she freaking jumps on the bed, freaking stick her hands in my vagina, stick her thumb in my butt with her other hand, and like trying to pull him out. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck you doing? Got your thumb in my ass or whatever. So it was so chaotic. My younger cousin had been walked out at this point. He was like, all this screaming, she doing too much. All she gotta do is pop his head out. This baby, I'm gonna show y'all a picture of my son. He has a big cantaloupe head. And once again, I'm probably exaggerating, but his head is big. So he came out 7 pounds and some ounces, and he was born at 11:21. I started pushing at 10. So those that are having like smaller babies, like y'all gonna 30 minutes to an hour. Y'all gonna be popping babies out. Pop, 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 pop. It ain't gonna take no time. But with me, his head, all the commotion that people around me, I was just like, I was over it. So my baby came out. They went and took him to the table with the light or whatever, and they got a one of the light bulb things. I wish I had one in here. They got the light bulb things, got like the fluid out his nose, the corner of his eyes, his mouth, his ears, basically. They wiped them off a little bit. They put them in my arm. So, and I remember they took pictures of him in my arms. Then I remember him, when we first looked up at each other, he looked me in my eyes, I looked him in his eyes. Oh my gosh, I remember just like it was yesterday. That's probably like the only part that I will never ever forget about my labor and delivery is us like finally looking at each other face to face, like, you the one that's been carrying me, you the one that's been making me so cranky all the time, all these 9 months, giving me stretch marks, all this stuff. I never forget. But anyways, we did have a video of, if I can find it, I'm gonna post it. We did have a video of him. Like, they would like test his reflexes. Keep in mind, I have not eaten all day, so my baby is hungry. He sucking a mess at the nurse's thumb. So we was like, we already know what time it is. Get out our face. He needs to eat. I did not get to see my placenta, but my husband did, and he cut it. And I know it's weird, but I was just like, I wish I had looked at it, because I didn't even see what it looks like. So basically, while they were stitching me up, I did tear. I did not tear on my gooch. If you don't know what a gooch is, that's where most women tear, and that's the part between your vagina and your butthole. That's the little space right there. It's just nothing. I did not tear there. I teared my labia, whatever the hell it's called. I'm gonna post a picture, not of my actual labia, but I'm gonna post it like you'll see. I'm gonna post a picture and show you guys what area I'm talking about. But so they did stitch me up there. It was like pokes, like a scratching feeling where they were stitching me up. Other than that, I wasn't too concerned about that. Once you bring your baby into the world, everything else is like, I went from 100 to 0 real quick. Not 0 to 1, I went to 100 to 0 real quick. I went from to oh my baby. Yes, it was that real. I'm trying to think. So whatever, fast forward, I stayed in a hospital for 48 hours. And when, I'm just gonna warn y'all, because y'all gonna be ready to punch a nurse in their face. They have to test, I forget what they have to test, but after you have a baby vaginally, they have to press down on your stomach. That is making me sick just thinking about it. They have to press down on your stomach every few hours to make sure you're not hemorrhaging or whatever. Like, there's no like blood clots or nothing inside of you, making sure all the fluids are flowing out or whatever. I'm gonna just leave that there. I did shower. I know afterwards, and my baby was sleeping or whatever, I just want to shower. I've been bleeding like the whole time you're in labor. Like, if your water breaks, it's still gushing out afterwards. You're bleeding, and I'm just like, I just want to shower. Like, can I do that? So finally they let me shower after my stitches get time to set in or whatever. I'm gonna show y'all something. You will need. I'm gonna say probably like a week or two after birth. I'm gonna say 2 weeks after birth. This is a blessing to use. Yes, I still have it because I do plan on having more children. And I have a can and a half left, and I'm not going to get rid of it or give it to someone who needs it. Anyways, this is Dermaplast, and it's for burning and itching. I did not burn, but I was itching. My stitches was itching. And it took me 4 weeks before I had sex again. And even then, my stitches weren't completely gone, but it didn't hurt. So I walked around for like a penguin for 2 weeks. When I tell you guys, after birth, you know, there's other people in there having birth too around the same time as you. So on my baby's 2 days visit, or like right out when we got released from the hospital, I seen females walking around with jeans on, tight jeans on. I'm like, I'm sitting here in sweats, wobbling like a penguin because my stuff is rubbing. Because like I said, it's my Libya. So my stuff is rubbing or whatever. So I'm walking like a penguin and y'all sitting here wearing booty jeans and stuff. Like, okay, you go, girl. Go, superwoman. Go ahead. But anyways, I really didn't have any problems after birth. I'm trying to think. Before I end this video, think of anything else I have for you guys. I think that's it, honestly. Make sure to eat. You can't poop. That's what I tell you. Like, as soon as you check in the hospital, no more food because you can't poop. Well, I don't think it's that serious, but they say don't eat because you can poop. Who cares? Just clean it off, you know? Could be other reasons why too, but you can poop while you're giving birth and they don't want you eating. I haven't had phantom kicks, and that's when later on you feel like you baby is still inside of you and they kick you. I'm not gonna get into that because I didn't have it. I did have postpartum depression, and postpartum depression is so real, you guys. I'm gonna tell you. So when I gave birth, the next morning, my parents, because he was born 11:21 p.m. and my parents were 7 hours away, so about time the morning came, they were there. So I had company. My parents stayed with me a week and a half, 2 weeks. I can't really remember. And then when they left, my in-laws came and helped us out for a little bit. And then when they left, my husband, he was on paternity leave with me for a couple of weeks. So it's like I had people with me 24/7 helping me. So my husband back to work. All my family had went back home. My in-laws are from Alabama. My parents are from Arkansas. When everybody went back their separate ways, I was at home I was on maternity leave for 3 months. So me being at home by myself, it went from all these people here helping me to no one here helping me. I just got real depressed. Like, I don't know, I just got real depressed. And it lasted for a minute because October, November, December, January. So my son was born in October, and then January, 3 months later, I was put on birth control. I had started my birth control because I was going back to work or whatever, and I was just like, I'm going to get on birth control or whatever because you're really fertile after a baby. And that altered my mood even more. So when I tell you I was depressed for the longest, I really was. And just don't be afraid to talk to anyone. I talk to my husband, talk to my mom. Like, don't be afraid to talk to anyone. Like, because that stuff can really play with your mind and things like, I don't know. It wasn't nothing. A lot of people doctors, they bring up the point like, do you ever feel like not taking care of your baby? No, it wasn't like that. It's just like I felt sad and alone. I felt lonely because I went from having people with me to having no one with me. So I just felt lonely. And so just don't be afraid to talk to anyone. I'm trying to see, ice packs really help. They have specific ice packs for after giving birth, for postpartum. They have specific ice packs because it's so soothing with like the itching and everything else. Like, it's just so soothing. Make sure you go to, and all of these you can get from Walmart, you can get from Walgreens. A lot of stuff that I got for my postpartum care, I got from Walgreens. I got that Dermoplast for Walgreens. My mother-in-law actually suggested that. They have the mesh panties, like big stretchable mesh panties. I can make another video of all the products you can use, but they have like big mesh panties, they have big pads, they have ice packs, they have all of that for you to take care of yourself after giving birth. And they're so helpful. They are so helpful. I wish I could find my bottle, my little spray bottle, because I know I still have it. I kept all that stuff. It's a little, not like a spray bottle, but it's like a water bottle type thing. And it's clear. You put your little soap in there. Antibacterial soap. Not no Summer's Eve, none of that. Your antibacterial soap. And warm water. So when you go use the bathroom or you gotta poop and or you've been bleeding all day, to keep you from like constantly washing throughout the day, because that's not healthy, you just use your bottle, you spray the blood off, you spray the pee off, poop, whatever. It is so beneficial. All right, it's so beneficial, but also they should prescribe you, everyone's different, they should prescribe you, the hospital should prescribe you laxative for when you go use the bathroom, because if you tore, even where I tore, pooping was still uncomfortable. So if you tore on your gooch, it's gonna be, I know it's gonna be uncomfortable. So when you go poop, you don't want no hard poops coming out, baby. I was scared to go poop for a good 2 to 3 days for the simple fact my poop was not soft enough. I was so scared. But all you gotta do is take laxatives. That's it. Take your laxatives, the max times that you can for that day, and all the time you eat, and freaking your poop just gonna come out, be soft, no complications. You're gonna be good. I went wearing, just build up that support system. If you don't have anyone, just do your research. And I'll actually post a video of all the products I use to take care of myself postpartum, because I think that's really good. Because I was watching other videos of their stories, and they kept saying like, no one told me this, no one told me that, but I had all that information available to me. So I'm gonna help you guys out. I'm gonna post a video of how to take care of yourself after giving birth. So if you took anything from this video, if you just thought it was funny or whatever, if I eased your mind a little, hopefully I did not put fear in you guys. Please don't be scared. You're gonna be blessed with a beautiful, beautiful baby. So like, comment, share this video, and see you guys next time. Bye.